have never seen the night sky quite like this.
I am your father.
The heavens on display under South American darkness without a hint of humankind in sight.
She's typing. She says, good evening.
We've dialed in a heck of an episode this week as we travel 12 hours by plane to the heart of the Chilean desert.
We're in Calama.
Where we wonder, will this be a life-changing experience?
I don't know. I'm asking now.
We are spending one unforgettable night under the desert sky, at one with the wonders of the universe.
We're going to roll with it. This is going to be a great day.
And we're going to show you how you can do it too, and why you should in this episode of Window Seat. Had to bust out the coat because it is winter down here in Chile. Cold, yes, but we were getting a little hot under the collar when we arrived late at night at the airport in Calama after an entire day in the air and with an hour-and-a-half middle-of-the-night drive through the desert straight ahead of us.
But we just need to find our taxi right now.
Now, our innkeeper had arranged for a driver to pick us up and take us to the dusty outpost of San Pedro de Atacama, but
yes,
he's nowhere to be found.
So I just texted the girl.
This could be bad because we could be just stranded here at the airport, just us and these other adventurers and these random dogs. Wait, why are there stray dogs inside the airport?
She says he has our phone number, and she's going to talk to him now.
While we wait, did I mention how cold it is?
It's cold. You forget that we're on the other side of the world, the other hemisphere, southern hemisphere. It's winter here, and so everybody's wearing winter coats. It's probably upper 30s outside, I would guess, maybe 40 degrees. It is chilly for sure. So we wanted a break from the heat. Back home it's like 90, 100. This is definitely the break we were after.
All right, speaking of breaks, ours finally arrived in the form of this green jacket-wearing savior.
How are you, my man?
Who didn't speak a word of English but understood the universal language of it's cold out here and we got to get to the desert ASAP. So that's what we did, traveling through the frigid night as one day turned into the next, down a surprisingly well-paved and smooth stretch of highway, straight into one of the most famous deserts on the planet, though you'd never know it from this late-night journey. Hidden behind the blackened bluffs off in the distance, 1,000 miles of parched countryside, the driest place on Earth with one of the most amazing views on the planet. I mean, just look at this. In astronomical circles, this is widely regarded as one of the greatest places on Earth to stare at the heavens. Impossibly clear, stretching on forever, millions of white dots illuminating our canopy, unimpeded by the light pollution of big cities. And since this is as close to heaven as Sean and I may ever get, we just had to come experience this thing firsthand. After more than an hour of desert driving, and as the clock strikes 1 a.m., the brick barrier walls there on the side of the road are the dead giveaway. We finally arrived at our gateway to the universe.
We're somewhere in the middle of the Chilean desert.
We just see a lot of really cool stuff in the desert, and it's going to be worth it to be up this early and be this cold. We'll be fine. The hotel is interesting.
But before we venture off into the night, we just got to give you a little daytime tour of our hotel.
I'm guessing in the summer this is used.
So you get a full picture.
And then this is the cafeteria. Where's the lights?
Of what it's really like to stay out here in the middle of a land without water.
They're very limited with the amount of electricity they can use.
The accommodations, it ain't the Four Seasons, let's just say that.
So there's no air conditioning. So if you're here in the summer, be ready for that. And in the winter, we have to use a portable heater. We're in.
You stay.
Pera.
So yeah, it is so remote out here, the village actually parcels out electricity.
These are old buildings, you can only plug in a certain number of things. But this is a portable heater. Jeremy the first thing he did was walk in and turn it on because he was cold.
Each person, each business only gets so much.
We also have a nice TV.
Hope you like rustic because hotels out here are just about as rustic as it gets.
Your bathroom with shower and...
All jokes aside, the accommodations really were perfectly nice. The space heater and a mountain-high stack of blankets kept us really warm overnight. But the sheer cold during our August visit left neither of us daring enough to attempt a shower. So we went 2 full days without bathing.
It's like going up to a bunk bed.
We were pretty ripe.
Like in a cabin in the woods.
Fortunately, this hotel room is big, 2 stories, and there was plenty of room to spread out.
Bunk beds, another full bed.
And avoid each other's odors.
Just 2 of us, but you could bring 4 or 5 people potentially, and then...
If you want to know more about this hotel and how to book a stay here, we'll put a link in the description below so you can check it out. All right, let's get to it. Time to get out to the desert. Our tour guide arrives after sundown in a big 16-passenger van, and off we go into the desert just outside of town. Now, we did lots of research, and there are a lot of tour groups that operate out here, each with their own version of celestial late-night viewing. Ours took us just outside of town, about 7 kilometers, to a dirt field surrounded by light-blocking barriers near the small town of Cucuter, Chile. I hope I said that right. Once there, we were greeted with very nice warm blankets and TV trays adorned with wine glasses, a lovely charcuterie board with olives and chips and meats and cheeses and cookies, and it would have been a wonderful date night had either of our wives been here with us to enjoy it. But we were more interested in what came next. The photographic proof that we made it here to this bucket list location. Our tour guide had a very impressive camera setup that took amazing pictures with the help of a flash in this near total darkness. And he even gave us his laser pointer, which reached all the way into the galaxy and made it look like we were gearing up for a lightsaber fight. He also snapped this picture of the Milky Way right overhead, and never in our decades on Earth had we ever quite looked at the sky in this way. To say we were dumbstruck was an understatement. Over the last decade, the Atacama has seen a surge in what's called astrotourism, drawing stargazers, astronomy buffs, and photographers from around the world for a look at distant galaxies, unobstructed and unpolluted by bright lights and big cities. From stars to constellations to the Milky Way, there is no place to see it quite like this. For one, because of our high altitude. We're about 8,000 feet above sea level right now. And two, because it's so dry here. This is the driest place on Earth, averaging just about a half inch of rain per year. And that lack of moisture means very little cloud cover. And third, because so few people call this desert home, there is little interference between us and what hovers above.
Okay? The second thing, you should put your eyes here.
Unfortunately, this is about as good a shot as we were able to get with our cameras because cell phones really aren't allowed out here. The brightness of your phone screen pollutes the view, so leave the pictures to the professionals, or better yet, just live in the moment and enjoy it with your naked eye, which is exactly what you're able to do by staring through one of two 14-inch telescopes at your disposal to look into the heavens. And how good are these things? Our tour guide actually took this picture of the moon with my iPhone looking through the telescope's viewfinder. I've never taken a picture with my phone this good, and I've never stared at the sky in amazement like I have tonight. Now, there are much more high-tech, professional ways to see the stars out here, too. The nearby Piranha Observatory offers tours to the public. It's home to the Very Large Telescope, yes, that's its name, where they observe and track the movements of the planets around a black hole. And then there's ALMA, or the Atacama Large Millimeter Submillimeter Array Observatory, a $1.5 billion multinational project that has been called the largest and most ambitious land observatory ever built. Scientists from all over the world use its immense telescope, more powerful than Hubble, to check out the sky. Public tours are exceedingly popular and usually require you to book out a month or more in advance. And it turns out this place's connection to the galaxies doesn't even end there. NASA has used the sandy, rocky terrain of Atacama to test Mars rovers as they're prepared for space travel. Seems this place in the Chilean desert truly is otherworldly. Makes you realize just how lucky we are to have it right here in our world. Even a basic, chilly, middle-of-the-dark night excursion like ours is enough to give you some life-changing perspective. Truth is, in the scheme of the universe, yes, we are small, but so too are our troubles. There's so much more going on out there that whatever bothers us or distracts us or steals our attention on a day-to-day basis is truly trivial. There's so many more important things going on in the universe, and a trip out here will remind you of just that with each glance you take of those galaxies far, far away. Now, if you're planning a similar trip, a couple of tips for you. Pay close attention to the lunar calendar. If there's a meteor shower or eclipse that you'd like to observe, plan your trip accordingly. Also, don't go stargazing during a full moon. At peak full moon, the brightness of the moon actually washes out the night sky. You don't want that. And third, get yourself a star chart to find the constellations and planets. Sure, your tour guide will point them out to you, but finding them on your own really is half the fun. So there you have it, an unforgettable night under the stars that we would highly recommend to others. If you're coming to Chile, you got to put this place on your list. Once again, we have a link to the tour we booked in the description below. Check it out. Also, if you'd be so kind, leave us a comment below. What did you like? What didn't you like? Have you been to Atacama? What about one of these night tours? Did you take it? What did you think? Let us know below. Also, like and share the video if you'd be so kind. And more than anything, we'd love it if you hit subscribe so you can follow our journey as we travel to every country on Earth. We are back with a brand new episode of Window Seat Friday morning, 8 a.m. Eastern. In the meantime, be sure to check out one of these other episodes from Window Seat.